Hey, what's up, guys? It's your boy, Sir Flawless, back in the house. Finna drop you guys a video, not just any video, a wide receiver video. Today, I'm gonna drop off how can I put it? My top 12, the Flawless Fantasy Football's top 12 projected wide receivers list, as far as end of season results, okay? Now, just like I did with my running back list, I took the information, I extrapolated all the information, and I showed you guys that how the draft rankings that most content creators use, fantasy football content creators use, you know, the ADPs and stuff like that, those things are trash. They are like 45 to 50% wrong and bust severely. So I'm gonna show you, as far as 2021 and 2022, what happened based off the consensus ADPs, and I'll move forward and get to my personal list for 2023. All right, let's jump right into it. Hope you enjoy the show. Okay, guys, so we're back at it. Unlike the running back video, I'm not gonna long stroke you. You know what I'm saying? Because this is the wide receivers list. I'm gonna keep it nice and concise so you can just absorb it all and be like, ah, damn. You know what I'm saying? Be like, this is ridiculous. I want to change the fantasy community's mindset as it pertains to consensus, ADPs, and I should pick this person here because I'm getting value. But look, he was slated to go here. He's value. That person, that value, can easily be a damn bust. Okay? You have to use your own critical thinking and don't follow the masses. I'm trying to tell you, don't be a sheep and follow the masses. Come tell you, that's dangerous. All right. So let's just look at this list here. This is 2021 wide receiver draft rankings. These are the consensus rankings from Fantasy Pros. All right. Use their rankings, half point PPR, and I want to be able to show you exactly what happened. Okay, 2021 draft rankings. And this was the half point PPR, not full PPR, half point PPR top 12 consensus rankings. Number 1 was Davante Adams, followed by Tyreek Hill, Stephon Diggs, DeAndre Hopkins, Calvin Ridley, Justin Jefferson, A.J. Brown, DK Metcalf, Keenan Allen, Allen Robinson, CeeDee Lamb, and McLaurin. As you guys see, there are a whole bunch of red X's over here. We'll just start at the top. Davante Adams finished at number 3 that year. That year, Tyreek Hill finished at number 6. Stephon Diggs finished at number 7. Then you jump into a bunch of X's. DeAndre Hopkins got an X. Ended up being wide receiver 43. Calvin Ridley, wide receiver 104. And he had all those kind of mental issues and this and that. But they only played like a handful of games or something. But good thing he's okay now mentally. Number 6, Justin Jefferson. He was number 6 on the wide receivers half point PPR draft rankings. He finished number 4. A.J. Brown, number 7. He finished at wide receiver 22. DK Metcalf was number 8 on the draft ranks, and he ended up number 12. So he finished up the lowest end wide receiver 1. So boom, okay, no bust. Keenan Allen, Allen Robinson, CeeDee Lamb, and Terry McLaurin all busted, being drafted at the number 9 through 12 wide receiver draft rankings. Keenan Allen 14, Allen Robinson 86. You guys remember how much they were like, oh, Allen Robinson, oh, he's so good, he's this, he can do that, and he on the other side. Wide receiver 86. That was easily a third round pick that you picked it up like a punter and just booted it. And it went far too, because that's how freaking far that's how much of a busted pick that was. No, once you kick the ball, it just freaking exploded. It ain't much freaking going nowhere. Wide receiver 86. CeeDee Lamb ended up wide receiver 18. So not that much of a difference, but that's almost like a back end, middle wide receiver 2, but still he got drafted as low end wide receiver 1 at wide receiver number 11. And Terry McLaurin went as a high-end wide receiver 3 at wide receiver number 25, but he was listed as the wide receiver 12 on the draft rankings. Guys, you got 7 misses. 7 misses. Listen, remember I said my last video. Oh, analytics, man. Listen, analytics are overrated because I can tell you there are so many numbers, so many things that these fantasy football creators put together. And it's like, oh, well, this says this, and he gets this many targets, and based off this and the numbers, let me make my rankings and sell my draft kit. Buy my draft kit for $19.95, and you get what? Get what? Your freaking opinion? Look, I ain't knocking nobody hustle. But my point is that's all you're doing is buying someone's opinions. Understand that's what you're doing. Okay? Nobody ain't gonna tell y'all this but me. Because I ain't in it for the bread. I'm in here to change the mentality and change the culture. You ain't gonna find people like that around here. I'm just keep it in the book. A whole stack. So Hopkins busted, Ridley busted, A.J. Brown busted, Keenan Allen, Allen Robinson, CeeDee Lamb, and McLaurin busted. But do they say, hey, guys, we're sorry because we listed these guys up here and they were like this? No, especially after you bought something. You know what I'm saying? You know, hey, look, man, I ain't telling nobody to do with their money. You know, I ain't counting nobody's pockets. But my point is, just like my opinions are my opinions, their opinions are their opinions. But my thing is, I just implore you guys and gals, if you're listening, to do your own thing. Draft your players. Please draft your players. Nothing like get ready to draft somebody and be like, oh, well, it's too early. I want to pick it up, but it's too early. I can wait 6 more picks and then come back around and get sniped. Now you got to live with it all season. You ain't got them now. You know? And then, heaven forbid, the person blows up. Let's move on to the next freaking year. It's more. It's more. There's more. So we're going to go 2022. Here are the consensus half point PPR consensus draft rankings for late August. They went as follows. Justin Jefferson, Cooper Kupp, Jamar Chase, Diggs, Devontae Adams, CeeDee Lamb at 6, A.J. Brown at 7, Michael Pittman, Debo, Mike Evans, Mike Williams, and Tyreek Hill. Well, they didn't like Tyreek Hill moving away from Patrick Mahomes, did he? But as you can see, Justin Jefferson ended up being number 1. Cooper Kupp busted. Sure, he was great when he was in there. Sure. Oh, but guess what? Glass the hell out, ended up wide receiver 24. You can't even depend on him. Now he's a year older, and they throw him right back up there at wide receiver 3 and wide receiver number 4. I believe that's a mistake. And then likely the same type of scenario with less numbers will happen this year. That's just me. I'm not wishing anything on it, but I'm just saying. Father Time's undefeated. I don't care who you are. So, Jamar Chase finished at number 12, even though he missed all the games. I think he missed like 5.5 games. He ended up in wide receiver 12 overall. So the lowest end wide receiver 1. He made it. Congratulations. Stephon Diggs, number 4. Devontae Adams, number 2. He's gonna struggle this year, though. And CeeDee Lamb at number 6, right on time, right on point, because he was the number 6 wide receiver. A.J. Brown was number 7 draft, and he's number 5. Michael Pittman, Debo, Mike Evans, and Mike Williams all busted 8 through 11. Michael Pittman was drafting at, on average, being drafted at wide receiver 8, finished wide receiver 23, busted. Debo, because I guess, he had a wide receiver 2 numbers last year. He's so awesome. Oh, we got to make sure we put him back in wide receiver 1. God damn it. He had a banner year. After these players have these banners year, you need to stop touching them. Because that's all they're trying to do is buy back past production. It don't work like that. It don't work like that. It rarely works like that. Rarely. See Eckler. They're rarely. You know what I'm saying? It's that type of rare. So, of course, Debo Samuel, wide receiver 38. You thought, Ayuk's gonna be in the doghouse and everything else is gonna happen, and and they're gonna run him like no, they ain't hardly run him at all like that, because his 49ers had CMC. So man, listen, each year is different. Each year is different. Mike Evans, wide receiver 16, and mind you, if it wasn't for that 3-touchdown game he had at the end of the season, I think it was in a championship game of fantasy playoffs. If it wasn't for that, he would have finished like probably a low-end wide receiver 2, if not a wide receiver 3. around 25 or 26. So that helped bump him up. But if you ask anybody that had Mike Evans, man, they were not enjoying the season having Mike Evans. And then Mike Williams started off fine, started off like a high-level wide receiver too, but then he glassed out. So as much as I like him, he glassed. He's fine, china, and porcelain. And Tyreek Hill finished at the number 3. That's my point. Look, 5 out of 7 busted in 2022. So 7 busted in 2021 for the wide receivers in the ADP, the wide receiver ADP, and then 7 busted in 2021, and then 5 busted in 2022. And when they bust, bust bad. So it's just throwing your pick away. So my point is saying this, guys. Draft who you want. Use your own sound, your own critical, this is your team. And I know sometimes we need guidance, I listen to other podcasts just to see what they're listening, so I can be like, I can tell like, oh, this person like this. He got a love affair with this person. Just like me, I can, somebody listen to me long enough to be like, oh, you love this person. Oh, you love that person. But what I'm not going to do is sit up here and be like, I love this person. I want you to freaking give up your first or second round or third round for them just because of my love affair. I'm not doing that. And I see other content creators do that all the time. Or just following. So, just following the herd. So here we go. This is this year's Fantasy Pros Fantasy Football Rankings 2023. You see the date, August 27th. I made sure I screenshot that and put them on here. They have half point PPR. Make sure I changed it to that. They have Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, Tyreek Hill, the glorious Cooper Kupp, Stephon Diggs. It always kind of floats around 5 and 7. CeeDee Lamb, AJ Brown, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Devonta Adams, Garrett Wilson, Jalen Waddle, and Chris Olave. Okay? Now, guys, look at here. I'm being totally honest with you. There are some busts on this list. And we look at this list and we're like every year, though, we look at the list and we're like, man, all these players are great. I love them. I want them. But there's some busts on this list. So I decided where I look at the factors and how I see the next upcoming season will go. And I will take out, I try to take out at least 4 players that I feel that might not make it, and I'll put in 4 that I feel that will. But I'll be honest with you, it was hard to pull out 4. It was. It really was. So I could only muster to pull out 3. And I'm going to tell you what 3 they were. And I'm also going to tell you who the possible 4th person may have been if I was forced to do it. All right? So the 3 players, wide receivers that I pulled out on this top 12 Fantasy Pros draft rankings list, starting from the bottom, it'll be number 11, Jalen Waddle. I don't think he'll finish as a top 12 wide receiver this year. I believe he has a banner year, finishing at 8 or 9 last year. I believe more juice will go to Tyreek this year. Also, I believe with the addition of A-Chain and throwing the ball out of the backfield and things like that, that'll take something away from the secondary receiving option over there, which is Jalen Waddle. So to me, I think he'll be fine. I think he'll end up wide receiver 14, 15. I can see that. But as far as being in the top 12, I don't see him making wide receiver 1 in the top 12. So I'm taking Jalen Waddle off the list. And secondly, it's number 9, Mr. Davante Adams. Listen, Davante Adams personally is great. But now you're dealing with Jimmy Garoppolo. Jimmy Garoppolo almost got him cleaned up when they scrimmaged or did something against the 49ers. Led him in a slant right into Fred Warner. Almost got him knocked out. Got his head knocked off. Jimmy Garoppolo is not a deep ball thrower. He's scared to death to throw it downfield. So everything's going to be short and precision type stuff. So that's going to limit Devon. I just don't see bombs and stuff happening. It just ain't going to happen like that. It's because of his quarterback play. Now, if they end up getting a second quarterback in there, that may help Davante Adams. That's the only way, though. So I'm taking him off the list. All right? He's the second person. And number 3 is Cooper Kupp. You guys, we've seen the best of Cooper Kupp. We saw how he finished last year. We've seen this whole thing, song and dance. This whole Tampa Bay and this whole Rams thing. We've seen it. That stuff's played already. So if they're played, the players are played. Yeah, you'll have somebody that got to produce, but not to the level where we believe that they're going to be season long with consistency, especially talking about consistency. So Coop got his, Donald got his, the coach and all that, they got theirs. Cooper Kupp will not finish wide receiver 4 overall this year. And I'm going out on the limb again, just like I said last year, he ain't going to finish he's not going to finish top 12 as a wide receiver 1. So Cooper Kupp and Devontae Adams and Jalen Waddle are taken off. I took those gentlemen off, and here's what I came up with. Flawless Fantasy Football's top 12 wide receivers for 2023. Jamar Chase, as you can see, he's at the top. Then you have Justin Jefferson, Tyreek Hill at 3, Amon-Ra St. Brown at 4, Garrett Wilson, Chris Olave, Stephon Diggs, CeeDee Lamb, A.J. Brown, DK Metcalf, DJ Moore, and Christian Watson. Now, I believe in DK Metcalf because DK Metcalf be having the most red zone, end zone targets, like damn near every year. But he's just not converted. If he starts converting them and that TD percentage, that TD goes up to double digits, forget about it. He's going to be up there for sure. And DJ Moore, I've never seen this. I was always anti DJ Moore as far as being like a breakout like that. But at the end of the day, if they run those short routes and slants and do that type of stuff and work him like they was working him in the preseason, I can see him getting down. I can see him having his best year this year. Now, normally when they send these star caliber type wide receivers to another team, they usually pay off. So I believe that it's going to be some nice numbers involved for DJ Moore this season. And Christian Watson, I do like Christian Watson. He's not getting picked early like that. He's just dynamic. You know what I'm saying? He could take something short, and nobody's going to catch this dude. Now I know they have Dobbs, and then they already got a rookie over there, so it might not be. It's not Aaron Rodgers throwing the ball. It's just like that. But at the end of the day, the talent always rises to the top, and that's what Christian Watson has. Now, as you can see, A.J. Brown, so that's the Flawless Fantasy Football's top 12 wide receivers for 2023. If I had to take one off and make it 4, because I really wanted to, and this is not going to be, something that's celebrated, but if I had to, I'd take off A.J. Brown. Listen, something's going to happen. Honestly, it's not if A.J. Brown's playing 16 games, sure, he'll be up there. But A.J. Brown played exceptional last year. But then you have the other wide receiver over there. He's next up. Then you have Dallas Goedert. So, and then how much they kind of run. So he could easily not make it, especially if he miss a couple games. Sometimes you got to take that chance because look, as we see with the other list, people get hurt. I know injuries aren't part of the game, but sometimes you got to kind of be like, who's used to getting hurt every once in a while? And he kind of fits that bill, because he was hurt at Tennessee and he's missed games and did this and that. So it was times when he was in the top 12, as we saw earlier in this video, and he didn't make it, right? Because he missed games, all right? So I'm not trying to wish injuries on anyone, but that's just how the cookie crumbles. So my point is, I hope you guys seen that. You see that these ADPs and these consensus lists, because they're all pretty much the same, but they're not written in gold, man. It's just not, So understand they're gonna be busting there. Pick your people, not who they want you to pick or what that consensus list tells you to pick. I hope that brings you some insight. I hope that brings you some confidence to draft who you want to draft and not what ADP says. Don't pick at the top of the ADP unless your guy's there. Flawless Fantasy Football, where you hear what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. See you and good luck in the drafts, man. Ball the hell out. Peace.